Here is President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Museveni.
Your Majesty, the Queen of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, and Head of the Commonwealth, Your Royal Highness, the Duke of Edinburgh, the Right Honourable Patrick Manning, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and the incoming Chairman of the Commonwealth, distinguished heads of state and government, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first of all extend my appreciation to Prime Minister Manning, President George Maxwell Richards, the government and the people of Trinidad and Tobago for the effervescent welcome they have extended to us since we arrived here in Port of Spain. We also thank you for the wonderful facilities you have put at our disposal. 2 years ago, in December 2007, the Commonwealth Fraternity gave us the honor of holding our biannual meeting in Uganda. Ugandans still have fond memories of that meeting. When I first met Your Majesty some 20 years ago, I pointed out that CHOGM was the only international gathering where we do not use interpreters when we are speaking. Even when I attend the African Union meetings, I must put up with the inconvenience of using earphones to hear what the Portuguese, French, Spanish, and Arab-speaking Africans are saying. This is why we are trying to popularize Swahili to solve this problem. At least for East Africa. I remember pointing out to Your Majesty that this was an asset that should be used. This English, which we all use, is an asset that could be used. The only drawback has been unequal development in the Commonwealth, where unfortunately wealth has certainly not been common to all. By wealth, I mean prosperity, not just natural resources, which of course are abundant in Africa. This problem is entirely the responsibility of the least developed countries to solve the problem of underdevelopment. All we need from the developed countries, as far as Uganda is concerned, is understanding and no obstruction from the developed countries. That is why, when we had the chance to host CHOGM 2 years ago, we agreed on the theme, transforming societies to achieve political, economic, and human development in the whole world. This has been the difference between Africa and Europe, for instance. Since 500 years ago, Europe started undergoing socio-economic transformation until it has become a middle-class and skilled working-class society, while Black Africa has remained a late Iron Age society. Even that late Iron Age technology was disrupted and distorted by colonialism. Africa has therefore ended up with enclave economies, small modern sectors surrounded by seas of backwardness at the periphery of the modern international society. Some of the Asian countries have, however, undergone the necessary socio-economic metamorphosis. This is what Black Africa must do. Fortunately, now, Black Africa is beginning to wake up, and our forward march is unstoppable. The stimuli for this socio-economic transformation are: 1, education and health for all; 2, liberalization and private sector-led growth with government intervention where necessary; 3, value addition to our raw materials instead of just losing value to other countries through an unequal formula of specialization and exchange. This is the modern form of slavery, where we get only 10% of the international value of our exports. 4, modernizing and expanding the infrastructure, especially electricity, railway systems, roads, and ICT. 5, regional integration to create bigger markets for our products and viable economic blocs which can negotiate credibly with others in the world. 6, insisting on a fair trade regime by calling for the ending of protectionism by the developed countries. 7, sustaining democratic governance with discipline based on the minimum standards of do's and don'ts instead of wild anarchism and opportunism. And 8, building capable states with the necessary state pillars, i.e. parliament, executive including capable armed forces and other security services, and a corrupt-free judiciary. In spite of our many problems, I'm glad to say that Black Africa is at last waking up. What we need is understanding, support where possible, and no obstruction. When Black Africa achieves socio-economic transformation, the Commonwealth will indeed become an association where prosperity and empowerment are common to all. This will also enable our countries to become effective partners in building a more equitable and sustainable future for the whole of mankind. The global warming and the damage to the ozone layer is a direct consequence of the actions of those who generate excessive carbon dioxide and CFCs by relying on unclean methods of production. This is a new form of aggression. It must stop. Uganda is handing over the responsibilities of chair in office to Trinidad and Tobago. I'm confident, Prime Minister Manning, that he will provide the necessary leadership and fortitude to guide us through a successful meeting. I wish you success as chair in office over the next 2 years. Let me again salute the government and people of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and the Commonwealth Secretary General and his staff for all their efforts in organizing this meeting. I thank you very much.